Okay, so we are ready to take Adam's feedback, and we're going to get on a call with him. He's going to send us through some markup, but once again, if we can get him on the phone, he likes to talk on the phone about this stuff. So that's great because we can ask questions and we can get more information. In this file that I just sent him, which was the copied flat file, I'm going to bring up a comment layer on top, just a new layer, and I'm going to set my brush to this bright green and make sure it's set to 100% opacity so I like to do my markup just with writing with the pen, but you could do it with the text tool as well. So let's call Adam and see what he has to say about this file. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to bring up FaceTime right next to Photoshop and give him a call.
Hey there,
Adam, how you doing?
good. We just turned the music off for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the call, and I hope we can talk over this this fantastic shoe shot now and see if we can take some of your feedback. It looks like you're in the studio and working on something. Is that right?
Yes, we are here. Here, I'll flash you.
Yeah. Show.
Got
Oh wow.
Set that up right now. It's a cool looking set. I'll show you.
Yeah. Can we see the set?
Let's see if it's possible here.
Okay.
There's part of the set coming in. Camera, 4x5 camera, Buck Hasselblads.
Oh wow.
Sorry for cursing on this video.
No, it's okay. This is some real life stuff
Shoes on
here.
a piece of glass. A little bit of underlight action.
Wow.
Got a fluter over here. Let's see what it looks like. Here's a good view of the set.
Wow, this is like a huge bonus. We not only get to talk over this, but we could see what you got cooking.
All right, so yeah, I'll head up to my desk so I can look at the image.
Okay.
While we're talking.
That's great.
And I can let you go. Good. Yeah, that was it. All right.
All right.
Talk a little bit later. Okay. Excellent. Ciao. Ciao. All righty. Oh. Here we go. So do I have something in my inbox over here?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I need to make sure that I'm just going to confirm.
Oh, here's another thing. Let me show you my monitor. Look at that.
Wow, you're working on some seriously cool stuff with shoes.
That's pretty cool, huh?
That is really cool.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So Adam, I checked to make sure that email was the correct one, and you do have the current file. It's underscore V2, and it's the one with the directional shadow. So if you're seeing that in your inbox, we could start talking about it, and I could take notes here, and you could do markup if you want to, or you can just talk me through it. However you want to do this review is totally fine by me.
I do not want to do markup because I'm going to go right back to shooting when I get off. But
Great.
I'm going to drag this to my desktop and open it in Photoshop.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'll just mark up the file on this end, and then
who's going to be watching this video?
What's that?
Images should be viewed in Photoshop, not in browsers.
That's an excellent point. Yes.
Okay. Let me go to 100%. Next thing, everybody. Images should be viewed at 100%.
Always.
Another thing. Okay. Cool. So, so should I start, or do you want
You
to
can
start?
go ahead and start whenever you want to.
All right. As far as the return, which is the kind of inside of the heel part.
I can't really see you very well though, and it does help me to like see your. Go ahead.
Let's start at the left, screen left upper part of the shoe. So the return, let me ask you a question about that. Did you blur the return, or is that how soft it was?
That's how soft it is. It falls off.
Okay, so that's slightly annoying.
Yeah.
And you may have an exposure where I put focus forward or not. I don't know if I don't think I bracketed focused on this, but so it would be interesting to look at the shoe with the return brushed out. My recommendation about how to do that is to do it really quickly.
Yeah.
Just really quickly with a hard brush and email it to me. And I'll
Okay.
look at it and say yes or no. And then if we like it, do the work. And if we don't like it, don't waste your time.
Okay. Yeah, and just to be
Okay.
clear for our recording, the return is what we call where we see this back part behind the opening for the foot on the lining. And is that correct, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I've marked it on this end so we can see this on the video. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So you did a good job. You did a good job with the glints. I like them behind the Air Max within the Air Max.
Okay.
Showing, I think the way the light is kind of making the some R blotchy, I think is realistic and it looks good. I
Yeah.
don't think that is working as well on the end of the M or the beginning of the X. That application probably just needs to be faded by 15%, and then it'll be fine.
Okay. Let me just confirm that with you. You mean where it touches the X and the A that's next to it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like basically.
Just smooth that.
Like, the level, the brush is hard enough.
Yeah.
That you have to fade it more so it doesn't look like the paint is chipping.
I'll just smooth that.
That's the one thing. It's like when you're looking at it in a single glance,
Yeah.
it can't look like the actual factory line didn't print the copy the right way.
Yes,
so you
right.
have to get the flare to pass that, but it simultaneously has to look like it's factory perfect copy.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Brushwork has to. I don't know if it's a fading thing or just better brushwork with that, but let's make it look like there is light passing it.
Yeah.
It's not cheap printing.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's perfect.
Okay. So now going down to the bottom of the sole.
Yeah.
There is the part of the sole that's under the glints looks really good. When you get to the area where we don't have any glints anymore,
Yes, over here.
The dark radius at the bottom of the sole,
Yes.
it's too dark, and it actually ends up looking like a cheap cutout and an unrefined mask, rather than, even though your mask is really good, I'm sure, it actually has the effect of looking like a cheap of a cutout and a cheap mask.
So if I'm reading you correctly on this, it's the sort of it's the sort of tread features that are underneath the lights, and it's the bottom of those.
My gut instinct, yes, it's just basically that dark shadow area.
Oh, I see.
Although realistic, just translates as a cutout.
Because he gets a little darker right on the bottom. Is that right? It almost looks like a line.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The
Yeah.
question is, like, do you give the shoe a haircut and trim it, or
Yeah.
do you take the red pigment and activating your mask, just brush the red pigment up onto that black area? I'm thinking. I don't feel like a lot of good comes from haircuts. I think when you can avoid a haircut, you should.
Yeah.
So I'd rather basically try to brush the red onto that.
I think you're right. We'll preserve the actual form and the silhouette, so we don't change the actual form of the shoe. We'll just make sure that line goes away.
Okay, good.
Awesome.
Now, one thing. There's this one area that I'm both liking and not liking. I can see that you put a gradient on the top of the bubble, which I feel like you did a good job on.
Yes.
Now, and I know that you put it there just because I didn't light it in. So you did a good job on that.
Yes.
Here's what I'm not liking.
Yes.
If you go all the way to the toe of the shoe, looking at the bubble, the top section of the bubble,
Mm-hmm.
and you follow it all the way past all the small lit up areas,
Mm-hmm.
all the way over to the first circle in the bubble under the
Uh-huh.
A.
Yeah.
That area is just too dark and dingy.
Ah, okay.
There's too much black in there. It's not comporting with the expectation that somebody's going to have with light coming through. That there's a difference between passing light through the holes and making the bubble feel like it's illuminated. And right
Yeah.
now, if you look at the heel where you have a bigger circle, that looks like the bubble is illuminated. But if you look at that whole other area that I referenced, it looks dark, and that does not feel light. And actually, also
Yeah.
that dark color, it's like it ultimately ends up being like brown, like
So-
a kid.
Yeah. So
Like,
can I yeah.
like a kid did a finger painting with every single color and just ended up with brown.
Can I ask you a question, clarifying question on that?
Yeah.
So are you talking about the area that is below the blue midsole and above that reflection line that I created?
No, like I mean, it starts at the blue midsole, and it basically goes all the way down to the there's a gradient. Like it starts out dark, and by the time you get to the bottom of the sole, it's lighter. But there's too much brown in there. That area. Needs
Oh,
to feel
do you
like
think the whole area of the inside of the sole around the first brightly lit hole? Do you think that the whole area in that region is just not saturated enough and just looks brown, and that it should look more red, or should it also look be brighter as well?
both? It needs to be
Okay.
brighter and it needs to be more red.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm circling
really-
sort of in the center of the shoe, in the clear bubble area, to the left of the A of Air Max, where Air Max begins. So above and around that first hole, and in that whole area there where it's fairly desaturated, it looks brown. That should be more red and possibly brighter.
It's got to be prettier.
Yeah.
It's got to feel more hollow. It's got to feel more airy. And so what I would take as a reference is this:
Yeah.
go to the screen right to the heel of the shoe.
Yes.
And look at the bubble and look at and then you have like the first bubble where the heel is, and then you have the second one which is right next to the X.
Okay.
And
Yes.
then you have that red piece of material in between, and that red piece of material is bright and
You like that? Okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna yes.
That looks good. That looks hollow. That looks airy. That looks light. All of a sudden, it just goes dark, and it's just very muddy, and it's kind of everything's dying over there.
That's great. That'll really improve the quality of that area, and it'll make the bubble look I think a lot more open and brighter.
And then, right, in addition to that, like the way all the circles look on the front of the shoe,
Yes.
because they're being juxtaposed with that kind of dark brown,
Yeah.
it looks like Hollow Man eyes. It looks like Slenderman eyes. Like it just, or like making me think of somebody who's like missing teeth. Like there's too much contrast between those white holes and that brown thing. The whole idea of the bubble being floating and lit up is going out the door.
No, that's great. That's excellent. That'll really improve it. Okay, cool.
So,
Adam, I think you paused your video.
oh, hold on, I got a decline. There was a call coming in. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So we got that. Other than that, that area looks pretty good. Let me, when I go to 100%, I'm seeing some fine line and some detail in certain areas that I don't like.
Okay.
But when you lighten this area up, that might go away.
Okay.
I'm also looking at this at 100%. I'm looking at the middle of the shoe. There's a speck of white, and here I can show it to you. Hang on. So I'm gonna turn this around. Okay. So let's see. Can you?
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
So that speck of white. Then over here, you have this speck of black. Right. Hold on, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. All of those specks are imperfections in
Yeah.
manufacturing.
Okay.
I know that you might not have the shoe over there, which is the way this usually works.
I know I don't have the shoe, but that's okay. I can figure this out.
Those are all areas where the glue, where air got caught in between the clear piece
Okay.
and the plastic. So those are not good.
Okay.
And then anything else you catch like that texture that has light caught in it. Here's
Yes.
another one right here. Hang on. So I'll show you which part of the shoe this is. You've got like another blotch right there.
So I think in general, Adam, if I'm hearing you right, is just kind of take another pass in that central area and remove anything that looks like it might be defects or that might be specks or dust or any of that. Just get rid of all that stuff, right?
Yes. Now I'm going to circle an area that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Which I mentioned this already. You may have gotten to it. You may have not gotten to it.
Okay.
You may have gotten to it, and I think you need to get to it more.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Hang on one second. Okay. I'm going to circle it in green.
Yes.
All right. Hang on one sec. Now, here we go. So this area right here. Okay.
Ah, gotcha. Yes.
Now, you have captures. You've got captures where that whole piece of plastic is lit up.
Yes. Okay. And you want that? Is that right? You want that area to be brighter and more luminous.
I want to see it in there. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't promise I'm gonna like it or not like it until I see it in there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look because I know in that area I looked at it closely and there's a lot of detail holding in there in the existing exposure that I have placed in there, and I might really easily be able to just brighten that because of the way we set up the structure of the shoe for the retouching. I can target that really quickly and easily, and it won't take a lot of work, and I can show you what that looks like.
Well, here's what I want to compare that to, though. Like,
sure.
If you go in there, and I don't, whether you do a gamma pull or whether you subtract black from the red.
Yeah.
First of all, my guess is subtracting black from the red is going to produce what I want to see.
Yes.
A lot more than a gamma pull is going to do.
Okay.
Because subtracting black from the red is going to make it glow.
Okay.
And a gamma pull is still going to maintain the shadow. It's just going to drag everything up.
So you'd like to see more red in there and for it also to be brighter, is that correct?
Well, the way I would say it is I want it to feel like it's transilluminated.
Okay.
Because making it brighter is something you can do with a gamma pull. But pulling black is going to help to make it look like there's light behind it coming through, as opposed to making it brighter. Like if you do a gamma pull, that's like lighting the surface of something.
Yes.
That's brightening the whole thing. And I want it to look like it's getting lit from inside. I want it to be more of a light bulb.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's good information.
Why I'm talking about subtracting black. Now, here's the deal. If you do that,
yes.
I'm open to seeing it, but I'm also interested in seeing you find a select where that whole piece is lit up and brushing it up.
Yeah, gotcha.
And whichever one is better, I'd want to go with.
That sounds great. I'll look into that and see what looks best and get it in front of you.
Okay. Then let me see here. Hold on. Let me just zoom out. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know how there's that much more.
Excellent. Well, that's actually all really, really good feedback.
One other thing.
Yes.
Rather than have you you did a nice job of recrafting the shadow, which is something we talked about.
Yeah.
Having said that, when I was shooting this, I did not have enough time to give the shadow attention.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to drop the shoe down, take my camera off the set that it's on right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a Fresnel, set up a Fresnel,
Okay.
and reshoot the shadow a bunch of times.
Okay.
And then we'll see about booking. And then then I'm going to see about booking that shadow into this.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I mean we've got this file set up so that shadow can be pretty easily swapped out it sounds like you want to shoot some more shadows to explore some different options and see how those look in there. So you can you can absolutely send those over to me tomorrow and I can swap them in and show you what that looks like. And are you happy with the overall luminosity and color of the shadow as it exists? You just maybe want to try some different shapes with what you capture?
Yeah, like I feel like yes, I want to. I mean, yours is good.
What I tried to do was match the relatively match the color that's in the comp that you sent me. So that can also be manipulated. But if you like that color and density, I can certainly apply that to some alternative shadow shapes if you send those over to me.
So and just to understand something, in the file, do you have it set up so like basically you replace the background under the shadow so the shadow's cleared and any shadow I give you can be stamped on?
Essentially, what I've done is just extracted all the elements while keeping any of the important photographic things that happened in there, but breaking them out so they're independent elements that we can manipulate really easily.
Okay. So when I light the background for the shadow, as long as I get the shadow area right, it doesn't matter if I've got light fall off at the top of the paper because you're not
absolutely
full background.
Absolutely. The shadow at this stage is all that I care about because it's going to go onto this background as you see it here.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this looks really good. Let me zoom out one more time. Just one last thing.
Okay.
That the red tab on the tongue that says Nike.
Yeah.
Let's just somehow wake that up.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's quite dull.
It's so unsexy that it's almost like a...
Does product accuracy really matter at this stage? Is it?
No.
Okay, excellent.
No. Nobody's going to get a Nobel Prize for not making that thing look sexy.
Well, in that case, would you also agree that maybe the lining looks a little bit dull as well?
I would definitely agree that the lining looks...
But it's totally up to you, but I can target that really easily, and I can up the saturation in that area if you want to.
Yeah, it's tricky because I think you need to. I think it looks too beaten up right now.
Okay.
And dusty, and at the same time, if you pop it too much, the shoe's gonna lose its integration with the back.
Just a touch.
Yeah, but definitely it's got to be a little less dusty.
Yeah. Okay, that's excellent. Anything else you see at this time?
Nope. I think I'll have... No, I think we're good. Okay,
excellent. Well, I'll make these changes as soon as possible, and I can get you another round before you shoot the shadow, if you want me to, or I can wait until the shadow. We'll just see how it works out, and I'll get in touch with you tomorrow and let you know.
Yeah, I would say go with your workflow.
Okay.
Because the problem is I don't want to hold you up. And
okay.
Some of what you're doing is experimental.
Yeah.
Like, for example...
the stuff in the bubble.
All that stuff in the bubble.
Okay. Yeah, no,
And
don't
then,
worry. I think I read you loud and clear, and I think that I know what to do in the bubble, and I think it's going to be a big improvement.
okay, awesome, man. Great
Awesome.
work. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. Wow. That's how a phone call color review goes. Uh, and it's kind of a lot to take in and deal with, and which is exactly why I'm taking notes here, so I make sure that I get down everything that he said, because it moves really fast, and especially with a photographer, they kind of, let's just say they jump around a lot, and they use a lot of maybe terminology that doesn't relate exactly to my process, but I have to interpret that and figure out what they really mean, such as when Adam was talking about trans illumination. I'll tell you the truth, I didn't really know what the hell he was talking about, but I kind of just accept that term, take it in, put it down on the page, ask more questions, and try to figure out what he's really referring to, because he's trying to get at something specific that he's thinking about. And same thing with these issues about what's going on in the bubble is we want to make sure that we're not talking about two different things. So I don't say, yeah, that's fine, and I go away and I make a mistake and brighten an area that he wasn't even talking about. That's really important that we, like I said at the beginning, that we continually say these things back to our client until we really get to the bottom of what they mean, because they may be using terminology that doesn't even mean what we think it does. So I've seen clients in the past say they wanted more contrast in an area, and if I just say, oh, okay, they mean more contrast, they know what they're talking about. This client actually meant more saturation in an area for the color to be brighter, not for it to be more contrasty. So that was a situation where they were using the wrong terminology for something. And whereas we're not here to necessarily, educate our clients on our terminology, we're here to extract what they mean by the stuff that they're saying. So to allow them to use whatever terminology they really want, but like an interpreter, we have to sit down and figure out what it is they really mean by all that stuff. And sometimes that can be a real challenge. So you see me going through this process where I'm constantly saying things back and making sure that I'm getting the right information that I need, so I can go away and be confident that I'm actually going to nail their changes on the first round, or at least get really close. So sometimes my markup will be different than what they said, because what I need to do is also take notes that I understand. So I know that this whole area, he was going to show me every single dot in that area of the soul that he didn't like, and I could see him going down that path. What I needed to do was kind of step in, stop him, keep him from wasting his time by being too prescriptive, and just say, Adam, what you really want, it sounds like, for that whole area to be cleaned up. And notice also, this is a thing that happens a lot with photographers, but clients as well, is they may have used Photoshop even quite a lot, and they might start trying to prescribe what the solution is in Photoshop for you to do. Now, we know that that's not necessarily the most helpful thing or the best use of their time. So that's another time that if you can politely step in and save them from having to try to figure that stuff out themselves, you want to step in and say, hey, I hear what you're saying, and don't worry, I'm going to handle it. And then that makes them feel better. Like, I don't have to tell this guy what to do. So same thing when he said the tongue logo, we need to bring that alive a little bit. I said back to him, we need to up the saturation a bit because it's looking kind of dull. And then also thinking ahead, looking at the lining, once we brighten up that tongue logo, that lining's also going to look dull. So suggesting even more work that we might need to do is often better, because if you can nail it right now, he's not going to come back later and say, oh yeah, now the lining doesn't look that great. So you're basically trying to front load as much of the work as possible. So I think that I have enough information here to move forward, and I think his feedback is actually really useful because he's looking at the image with fresh eyes and giving me ideas about how to improve the image that, with me sitting in front of it for this many hours, I really can't see those things because I'm so close to the image and I'm so locked in, that it is actually really helpful to take all this feedback, even if it feels like, oh boy, there's a whole hell of a lot more work to do on this image that I thought was really beautiful. Still, this is basically, you have to submit to this process of feedback in order to really get a high level, professional, beautiful image at the end of the process. So this was great. We're going to jump into these changes and see how that goes.